Welcome to the Big Match Revisited, a chance to look back at the way football was televised 4 decades ago. This edition was shown in February 1977, when James Callaghan was the Prime Minister and the British transfer record was £350,000. Settle down for some football nostalgia with host and commentator Brian Moore.
And welcome again to the Big Match. And as you've seen, our lineup today takes in the first and second divisions. From the second division, a match affecting top and bottom as Fulham face Charlton Athletic in a London derby. And after the game, we meet Alan Slough of Fulham on the left and Keith Peacock of Charlton Athletic. Top v bottom in the first division as well, as Middlesbrough meet struggling Spurs. And then another chance to assess the still great power of Liverpool as they take on Birmingham City at Anfield. There's your letters too, of course. So we really have a lot of ground to cover in the next hour or so. Let's make a start down by the River Thames. The first hint of spring in the air as well, that's good. And inside Craven Cottage, a crowd just short of 15,000 that knows it's a match of some importance. Fulham sliding into the relegation area, fielding this side. Payton in goal, Strong, Lacey, Moore and Jump, Slough, Bullivant and Evanson, Best, Marsh and Mitchell, with Greenaway their substitute. And a newcomer, of course, in this Fulham lineup is their defender Stuart Jump, in the middle of a month's loan from Crystal Palace. As for Charlton, they've moved up amongst the pacemakers with this team, and look at that, 4-2-4 away from home. That really is style. Wood in goal, Penfold, Berry, Curtis and Warman. The two in the middle, Peacock and Tideman, Powell, Berman, Flanagan and Macaulay, with Hunt the substitute. No Derek Hales these days, of course, but a young man who's taking his place is 18-year-old Tony Berman, a former Queen's Park Rangers apprentice. They've also spent some money on midfielder Dick Tideman, £65,000 from Gillingham, and the winger Hugh Macaulay from Plymouth Argyle. The referee at Craven Cottage is Mr. Jim Bent of Hemel Hempstead, and now we're just about ready for the start.
So Charlton get us underway in their red shirts, white shorts, attacking the goal to our left against Fulham in white. Charlton, who've eased their way up to 6th place in the table, but the ball given away by Bobby Moore there to Colin Powell. But Lacey was there to get it away. Moving up very well, in spite of the fact they've only had one away win this season, Charlton. Fulham, for their part, have slipped to 17th. And after this game, they face the prospect of 2 games away from home at Bristol Rovers and at Wolverhampton. So they'll be equally desperate to get something from this match. There's Berman, a nice touch back, but in turn touched by the number 11, Bullivant. Back to his goalkeeper, Jerry Payton. Tideman's header and Flanagan's. Now to Hugh Macaulay. Turns Strong well there. Bullivant filling in nicely behind his fullback though. Here's Tideman. Berry. Curtis has come up as well. Love to attack. Oh, and what a good shot. Beautiful shot there from all of 30 to 35 yards by Bob Curtis, and Payton well behind it, watching it like a hawk all the way. Berry's header. Marsh's header. Mitchell. Slough. Best on the far side. And that's a goal kick. But I think in the last minute we've seen what these two sides are about. They both believe in enjoying themselves and giving plenty of pleasure as well by playing attacking football. And 2 defenders and midfield players getting in shots there, and a good crowd enjoying that little bit of action. Tideman. That's Slough, or rather Strong. Mitchell. Nicely played, nice little weighted pass there by Mitchell now for Les Strong. The call has gone right back. So as well as attacking, they obviously mean that front men must come back and do their share of defending. Here's Tideman now for Charlton. Played accurately forward there for Berman, equally accurately back for Tideman. Good ball to Curtis. Now for Warman. Now for Peacock. Some good play here by Charlton. Powell. Trying to turn Stuart Jump. And not so much as a corner, but in fact he's given it to Flanagan. Powell again, Warman coming to assist. So Colin Powell looking for a chance to get that ball over. This time he succeeds in doing so, only to find John Lacey. Back with Warman again, a good bit of pressure this by Charlton, with some good accurate passing involved as well. Warman onto the right foot, hitting it low across this time. Macaulay hitting it on the turn, and that's just wide. Good play by Charlton. Sustained pressure there for a minute or so, and when Warman turned that back well from the byline, Macaulay hit it beautifully, curling all the while, but just wide of the far post. Tideman challenging Bullivant in the air, but Bullivant with the ball now, and a lovely pass here for Rodney Marsh. Mitchell waiting in the middle, Best coming up and Evanson coming up too. Marsh teeing it up. It might come for Mitchell. Tideman only half got it away. Slough with a shot. Penfold carefully playing it wide for Powell. This will be Bobby Moore's ball. Played for Terry Bullivant. Curtis's header and Bullivant's. And this time Mitchell. Played for Marsh. Chipped in for Slough, making a run. And Mitchell. Well, that really was a chance. Because Slough had forced Peacock, who'd come back very strongly, into the slight error there, and the ball fell nicely for Mitchell. And he hit it maybe just a little too quickly. Wide of the Charlton goal. Flanagan. Berman beaten by Lacey, which was almost inevitable, with Lacey towering a good 5 or 6 inches taller than the little 18-year-old number 8 of Charlton. And a free kick now to Fulham. Foul by Berry on Mitchell. Here's Best. Well, there's something about that free kick that Mr. Bent was not happy about. Lacey up. Best chipping it there towards Lacey. Now Macaulay, who looks a lively player. Short to Curtis. Oh, and he's given that away. Curtis to Best. Oh! What a chance missed there as Curtis gave that away. And Best will be furious with himself for that. A terrible ball there by Bob Curtis. Straight into the path of Best. And he was shaken out of it right at the end, delayed far too long. Well, his father's here, and I wonder what he thought of it. I wonder, in fact, what George himself would have thought of that. Jump. Curtis. May not reach Macaulay because Slough was full of determination, as is less strong now for Fulham. Marsh up with him. Cut out by a combination of Berry and Curtis. Here's Tideman. Flanagan. Touch for Powell. Could be interesting now because Powell has got a bit of acceleration about him. Got Berman waiting in the middle. Here's Berman. Couldn't quite control it. Well, the youngster will be a little disappointed with that. 18-year-old, former Queen's Park Rangers apprentice, Tony Berman. Play on. Good advantage played by referee Jim Bent there. Mitchell. Oh, goal! Well, no wonder, yes. Jeff Wood saying that that swerved all over the place. And in fact, the linesman was flagging a moment before, and the referee said, no, we'll play the advantage. And Mitchell hit that with such power. 1-0 to Fulham. And they have to thank a good piece of refereeing by Jim Bent for that one. Played the advantage, and Mitchell took full advantage. So just about 26 minutes gone now. Fulham 1-0 into the lead. John Mitchell, their scorer. goal kick. Well, Fulham have yet to win under Bobby Campbell as manager. They've gone 8 games since Christmas without a win, won only 3 of their last 22, and that must have been a sight for sore eyes for him. And now Slough. Mitchell just poked it away there before Macaulay could get to it, and here's Strong taking up the running again. This time Mitchell caught well offside. Charlton exercising this offside trap with a good deal of skill. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Bob Curtis with the free kick. Laces header. Now Tideman. Macaulay taking it on well. It's an interesting cross as well if Flanagan can get to it, if Tideman can get to it. Oh, and a great save! Well, Macaulay got that in well. And it was knocked out. Tideman took careful aim just inside that far post. And Payton was flying across his goal to turn it away. Very good save by Payton. And a very good, well-measured shot there by Dick Tideman. Stewart jumped now for Fulham. And here's Mitchell, laid onside that time by Berry, but it was Berry who made the interception as well. Here's Penfold as the whistle goes for half-time. Well, the pitch not helping matters, and not a highly skillful first half, but certainly a magnificent goal by John Mitchell, with a good piece of refereeing, playing the advantage by Mr. Bent that allowed it to go on and happen. And so a little knock for Charlton's hopes of getting further up the table, but certainly a little bit of relief for the time being for Fulham as they get closer to the bottom. 1-0 at half-time. A lot more to come on the big match. Then the half-time score, Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Charlton 0. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Craven Cottage, and Fulham now attacking the goal to our left. This one goal up, scored by John Mitchell after 26 minutes. Here's Evanson. Berry allowing that to go all the way through to Wood. Free kick to Charlton. Colin Powell, who will find it a little stickier going on this side of the field in the second half. But having played on the slopes of Barnet in his earlier days, I think he might feel he could play anywhere. Mitchell. Marsh, but here's Jump. To Best. He's got past a couple of them there. Oh, and that's another bad ball there now to John Evanson. The little chip going in there. And it's not away yet by any means. Wood nodding it down, and Fulham going in there. And there really was a chance there. They were under an enormous amount of pressure, Charlton. And when it was knocked down, Bullivant was really going in there like a rocket, nodding it just wide. Free kick to Charlton. Now it's Peacock. Just a little touch there from Powell. Colin Powell now. The back cross there. Flanagan trying a backward header. There's Phil Warman coming up fast. Oh my goodness, he missed by a whisker. Well, they worked that move well down the right-hand side, Charlton. And how quickly Warman came in on it. Hit it well, but not quite well enough. Bullivant. Berry stopping it as well he did, because Mitchell was getting in behind him. Moore. A lovely ball there, but unfortunately for Fulham Stewart jump chose that moment to dive. Brentford stealing 1 to 2 yards too many, told to get back. Flanagan for Powell. 2, 4, 5 Fulham players are swarming around him. Played it back for Tideman. There's the early ball going in and hit low, and it'll come to Flanagan. Played back for Peacock. Couldn't quite get the shot that he wanted. Oh, and a good shot there, and Birmingham was almost on it. Well, that was a powerful ground shot hit by Macaulay. And Payton didn't quite snuff it up at the first go. Birmingham was onto him, but the Fulham goalkeeper recovered just in time. Warman to Macaulay. Now for Peacock. A free kick given? Yes. So as you can see, it's just outside the area. Probably 20 yards from goal, maybe. It'll be Peacock who's going to take it, I think, or Curtis hovering. Peacock with a little chip. Warman's coming out on the far side. Has got a header. In fact, it was Jump who kicked it out of his goalkeeper's hands there. I'm not sure that Payton would have got to it. Tideman now. Powell. Nice little chip inside for Warman again. Yes, and another free kick, quite properly given there by referee Jim Bent, with Stewart really jumping in on the back of the Charlton man. So a chance for Charlton to keep this pressure on Fulham. Searching desperately for this equaliser. Peacock again is going to take it. A dummy run towards the near post by a couple of the players, and Bobby Moore getting behind, but at the expense of a corner. So a corner then again for Charlton, which Peacock wants to take quickly by the look of it. Yes, and he's found Tideman. There's the cross going in. Berry just couldn't quite get to it. Best got it away, but not far. Peacock again for Charlton. Tideman. Will that reach Penfold? Well, he made it reach him. And he's found Peacock. Started in again towards Berry. And Flanagan with a chance. Yes! 1-1. Played that well, Charlton, and in fact it was Berry on the far side who made a strong challenging run, and that put Fulham off, and the ball was played back into the path of Flanagan. For a split second it seemed as though he may have missed his chance, but in the end he kept his head and made it 1-1. Fulham 1, Charlton 1. Mike Flanagan gets number 14 of the season. Now Macaulay. Does believe in running his fullback, and he's full of confidence. Here's Tideman. Curtis. Tideman's gone on, but Strong should get there first. Oh, what a terrible bubble. Ball live underway. Still Fulham really not putting anybody forward. They're putting Charlton defence under no sort of pressure, whether it's the fact that Charlton are pushing so many men forward themselves, which they do. They always come at you for 90 minutes, which is keeping Fulham at full stretch at the back. I don't know. Can't see anywhere at the moment that Fulham are going to engineer a second goal, because they put nobody up to do it. Now here's Strong. Now they've got Mitchell up. And Slough trying to keep up there as well, but it's a throw to Fulham. Best. his head. Now, Evanson with a shot, and what a brilliant save. Marsh trying to turn it back. Penfold can't get it away. Marsh again, not enough line that time by Curtis. Evanson again, and it's just wide. Well, how close do you get? Banging around that penalty area. One tremendous save by Jeff Wood. And as it's dinked back in again, nodded off the line by Curtis. And Evanson, whose shot it was in the first place, finding his second one just going wide. Marsh, jump. No, you leave it for best. Now Best might get hold of this one. Taking it to the byline. Good control again. Laying it there for Bullivant. It might come for Marsh. No, and Berry clears away there, just as Mitchell went roaring in. So another scare there in that 6-yard area for Charlton, as Mitchell came in and before Berry got it away. Strong. Curtis. Oh, now for Marsh. Well, I'm not sure what he was doing there, but Bullivant couldn't put it away. The chance seemed to be there for Marsh. And it wasn't really a very accurate chip either. Charlton didn't really get it away. Bullivant came in quickly, but shot wide. Bullivant. Evanson. Fulham crowd urging their white-shirted men on now in the hope that in these last minutes they might see a winner. Marsh playing it back for Evanson. Well, he might get into a scoring position now. Marsh again, the little pass to Bullivant, who really has worked hard all day. Strong. They've got a few forward now, Fulham. Played for Slough on the far side. Lifted in again towards Mitchell, and it'll come to Marsh. Scooped over. It came a long way. It just flicked the top of Mitchell's head as it came. And Marsh maybe had a little more time than that. Scooping on the half volley over the top. Berry's up on this side, Tideman's up as well. Peacock flicking it now to Colin Powell, chipped in once more. Slough getting it away for Fulham. Powell. There's the little chip going through again. Flanagan's right there once more. Peacock went right in there too, but it'll come through safely for Payton. We're in injury time now at the end of 45 minutes of this second half. And there goes the final whistle. A point apiece, and perhaps no complaints. John Mitchell, the number 9, having scored a brilliant goal for Fulham in the first half. And his opposing number 9, Mike Flanagan, having replied with one for Charlton in the second half. So a final score then at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Charlton Athletic 1.
So a point apiece. The pitch cutting up badly didn't help matters a lot. Overall, to be honest, it wasn't a very good game. Charlton, though, look a nicely balanced side, I think, which is more than you can say for Fulham at the moment. And no wonder there's talk of them reopening discussions with George Armstrong, that great little Arsenal winger. He could probably do them a power of good right now. George Best worked hard again, I thought, but Rodney Marsh looked a pale shadow on that performance at any rate of the player who'd thrilled us all earlier in the season. Maybe it was just one of those days. At any rate, after the game, I spoke to Fulham's Alan Slough and Keith Peacock of Charlton. Coming to you first of all, Alan, it really must have been quite a slog out there for you.
It was. It was a difficult pitch. We worked very hard, and in the end, we've lost a point, you know. But,
when you really desperately needed to?
We desperately needed to, yes. But I think we look at the papers. We've got one, and we haven't lost. So there's always ground to work on there.
That's to stop Fulham sliding down. You obviously got your eyes in the other direction, Keith. Were you satisfied with the point?
In the end, we were satisfied with the point, but I think at one stage, up to the point we got the goal, we were going for 2. I thought we could have got 2 points today. But once we scored the equaliser, it seemed to just tilt the other way again. I don't know why, just one of those strange things.
They came hard back at you at that point, didn't they?
They did, and they possibly could have won it late on in the game. I think probably a fair result overall.
Yeah. How did first of all, a tremendous shot by John Mitchell, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, great shot. He does that regularly in training.
And there was a picture of Jeff Wood in the Charlton goal saying, you know, that it must have swerved 4 or 5 feet.
It definitely swerves. You know, John hits these either foot, and he's done it in training. You know, and we was hoping he was going to do it in matches. You know, and it's come off. Brilliant.
And what about their goal?
Well, I was involved with that one. I'm afraid it was my fault. You know, but I thought there was somebody behind me.
There was, in fact, the number 5 Berry.
I committed myself. I just tried at it as far as I could, and it seemed to just plunk down, stuck in the mud, and then that was it.
Yeah. Have you lost a little bit of momentum, do you think, now, Alan, from those marvellous days when we were here, for example, when you played Hereford and we saw George and Rodney?
Yeah.
Really superb, and that seems to have evaporated a bit now.
Yeah, we started the season very good pitches and we was playing stuff. Teams are motivated against us with George and Rodney in the side. And we come to the Christmas period, we was well in it, and all of a sudden we had a very bad Christmas. And the confidence goes a bit, and we're in trouble now. But the lads work very, very hard, and we realise, you know, we've got to work hard to get out of it. I think we will. I think we'll get out.
You've got 2 away games coming up now, Bristol Rovers and Wolves, which of course is going to be an enormously difficult one.
Our last away game against Notts Forest, I thought the lads done very, very well. In the end, we was beaten late, about 7 minutes ago we was beaten by a goal. We fought very hard. The 2 lads, Rodney and George, are fighting back in the penalty box, you know, defending. So it's there. I can see it's there. You know, I'm quite confident we'll get out of trouble.
Keith, do you see Charlton as a First Division side? I mean, thinking of the sides you've got above you, like Chelsea and Bolton and Wolves, of course, a brilliant side, Nottingham Forest, Millwall as well. Teams like this?
Yes, we haven't really thought in terms of promotion as yet, because we've always been about 6th has been our highest position, about 7th, 8th. But I don't think we're too far behind these teams. Wolves, we've played Wolves away, Nottingham Forest at home and away. We took 3 points off of them. And we've got Chelsea, Bolton and Wolves next week at home. If we beat them, I think we could be there for the final run-in.
You haven't got Derek Hales now, and it would be ridiculous to say that you don't miss Derek Hales, because everybody misses a Derek Hales, and your manager's bought a winger and a midfield player. How has that affected the balance of the side, and how much have you missed Derek, do you think?
As you say, you always miss a goal scorer. I mean, it was fantastic. When Derek was here, he was scoring goals regularly. However, I think probably the all-round team performance is probably better now. We play more of an all-round game. We were playing an awful lot to Derek, and he was scoring goals. Yeah. Now we rely on an all-round effort. Dickie Tideman's come from Gillingham, and he's doing an excellent job in midfield, settled in very quickly. And I think we can go on from here.
If I can come back to you finally, Alan, to talk about the fellow who's up here with us today. I think it's 14 years at Charlton, Keith, isn't it?
Yes. 15.
I mean, the way he ran today was an object lesson to everybody. I mean, what do fellow pros think about a guy like that?
Oh, I've got a lot of respect for him. A lot of respect. I've played against him so many times now. You know, I've been playing a few years myself. You know, we've had many battles, and you get a fair old game out of him. You know, there's no rough stuff. He's a great fella.
Run for a few more years yet?
I hope so, yes. I'm enjoying it still.
In fairness, a couple of great professionals there, Alan Slough and Keith Peacock. Our second match today traces the fortunes of Tottenham, which really have been pretty low for most of the season. And yesterday's visit to Middlesbrough was always going to be a difficult job for them. Spurs now without injured goalkeeper Pat Jennings, the faithful Barry Daines getting another chance in goal. Up to yesterday, Jack Charlton's team had scored only 20 goals this season in the First Division, but they conceded only 21 in 23 league matches. Gritty stuff, that. Yorkshire television cameras were there. Commentator Martin Tyler. Spurs are in the light strip.
Back flick, Hoddle. Now Taylor should clear his lines for Spurs, but runs it out of play. Middlesbrough having more of the ball, but so far just the one clear chance when David Armstrong wriggled his way through. But now Cooper taking his man on, and very well held by Barry Daines at full stretch. Wood and Mills were both looking for the pieces, but the goalkeeper had dropped it. Some positive play from Terry Cooper, taking on Keeley, coming inside him and striking it with the right foot, and Daines hanging on. Poor kick from Daines. McNabb back to just take it away from Mills. Now Hoddle. Naylor. Spurs happy to play it across their back four, but they were rather putting Gorman in trouble until Headley is penalised for raising a leg going into that challenge. Mr. Huff having a word with the 19-year-old. Forward from Gorman. Now will Duncan and Hoddle going in there. Some fine skill from Hoddle and a great shot at the end of it too. Such confidence from Glenn Hoddle. Really beautiful skills. As the ball fell loose, it was Hoddle who brought order to the chaos with a bit of juggling and a beautiful shot on the half volley. And Cuff really tested. Wood and Osgood both missing it. Mills, Borsma, Wood in a little bit of room. Now looking for support from Souness. A good unselfish layoff from Alf Wood. Setting up the chance for Souness. As Borsma knocked it in, Wood was in a little bit of space. Guided it down sensibly, and Souness hit it first time left-footed. Not quite cleanly though. Forward from Headley. And the goalkeeper coming in. Down goes Mills, the crowd appealing for a penalty. The referee waving play on instantaneously. Mills appealing too. The goalkeeper certainly had to go for the ball. Duncan. Bohm taking it up for Middlesbrough. Mills making a run in front of him. And Borsma too. And a nicely weighted ball for Borsma, with Keeley sticking to him, and the referee gives the corner after taking a while to make up his mind. Keeley was the defender involved. If he's disappointed, he's keeping it to himself. So a corner it is. Borsma to take it. Curling in towards Mills, and the header, and it's in from David Mills. Disappointment for Danes, who couldn't quite keep it out. David Mills gets the congratulations. Borsma striking the corner well, curling in, and David Mills timing his jump well, getting in front of Osgood, getting the header down through the legs, and in off the post as Bohm followed up. Gorman playing it in, now McNabb, and he's hit it well, and Clough had to be sure. Bound for the corner. And McNabb, for the second time this afternoon, chancing his luck from all of 25 yards. Clough down behind it. Mills. Keeley in a little bit of trouble. Mills taking it off him. Now a great chance. And it's all going a little bit sour now for Spurs. No chance for Barry Danes. Delight for the Ayresome Park crowd. You can see that again. Keeley it was, cutting across his own defence. Robbed by Mills. A simple chance, taken well, 2-0. Naylor. This is Andy Keeley. Looking for Jones, who's looking for Duncan, who's hit it beautifully. Well, a splendid effort from John Duncan at the end of some confident build-up by Spurs. And there've been chances, have been few and far between for Duncan. But when Chris Jones laid that into his path, he really snatched at the half chance, hit it beautifully. And a fine save by Cuff. Now Gorman. Well, Hoddle is coming in, and he read that beautifully. Now a chance for Spurs to pull one back. It goes in for Duncan, and he's put it wide. Well, that really could have brought Spurs back into the game. The mud slung in disgust by Duncan. A sloppy piece of play by David Armstrong. Hoddle had read the back pass, not hit at all convincingly. Hoddle kept his head with the goalkeeper all over the place. He turned it back, but Duncan could only head it wide.
Well, a defeat that won't do Spurs any cause any good at all. But of course, it's when you're down towards the bottom that things never seem to go right for you. And Spurs were claiming bitterly that, in fact, Middlesbrough's first goal, which resulted from a corner, that in fact it should have been a goal kick. Let's just have a little look at that to clear up everybody's minds on it. The ball pushed forward here now, and in fact it clips a Middlesbrough player first of all here. The question is whether Andy Keeley now touches the ball before it crosses that byline. At the moment, if it goes over, it's a goal kick. But does Andy Keeley get in there? Problematical, but you can see why the referee, I think, gave a corner. But as I say, when you're down there, nothing goes right for you. Our third match today features Liverpool, top of the First Division, but struggling hard to get away from the challenge of Ipswich Town, who were 1 point behind with 3 games in hand at the start of the day yesterday. Well, Ipswich, of course, had their match at QPR called off. So it was a chance for Liverpool to lengthen their lead in terms of points, when they took on Birmingham City at Anfield. The game was covered by Granada Television, the commentators Gerald Sinstadt. Liverpool are in the all-dark strip.
Ray Clemence's long kicks, often a useful factor for Liverpool. But here Howard Kendall, number of ex-Everton players in this Birmingham side. Howard Kendall, Gary Jones, John Connolly, Archie Styles. Francis finding Page. Gary Jones, now Kendall. Jones. Looking for Keegan. Gallagher finds Kendall. Offside against Burns. No, says the linesman. And that rebounds off Burns. And Burns has an empty net if he can turn it. And it's gone in. There was no flag from the linesman. And Mr. Morrissey is pointing to the middle. Now, it certainly looked as though that must have been a hairline decision as Burns went scampering through there. Clements came out of the goal, out of the area in fact, and although he blocked the ball, it rebounded off Burns, and Burns chased it and did very well to squeeze it in by the post. Hibbett. Toshak was cutting off the route of the back pass to the goalkeeper. It was Francis' jump, and here's Connolly. Kendall. Gary Jones. Page just behind him. Joey Jones got in for the tackle, and there's a confrontation between the Joneses. Mr. Morrissey comes to break it up, but let's play go on, not wanting to penalise Liverpool in possession. Keegan. Toshak was pushed over, and it's a penalty. Gallagher suggesting that it was a dive, but Mr. Morrissey didn't hesitate. Toshak, eyes on the ball as it came over, suddenly flat on his face, and Mr. Morrissey says, no argument, that's a penalty. Phil Neal, who has scored 5 times from the spot this season, aiming now to make it 6 and put Liverpool back on terms. Dave Latchford, feet firmly planted on the line. Some words from Mr. Morrissey, and now it's up to Neal. And he's done it. 1-1. Phil Neal, calm, precise, and accurate with the penalty. Back to Highway, chance to cross. Changes his mind and goes at Page, and the outcome is another corner. Over this time to the near post for Toshak. Not properly cleared, charged down by Kennedy. Case is in there, Kendall is there, and Burns it is who brings it out. It hits Joey Jones, now it's Page. And now it's Keegan. Toshak. Page. And Latchford coming to tidy up, but I think the referee is sending them back for an infringement down by the byline. So another Liverpool free kick anyway. Linesman coming to move the 2-man wall back. And the ball played to Highway, who hits it well. And Toshak's head deflects it brilliantly. move. The ball just played back for Highway. Highway's shot was on target, but if anybody had a chance of saving it, it disappeared with that lovely little subtle deflection by John Toshak. Kennedy, Hibbett, Page back to him. Clements, positive shout. Now Toshak. Highway. Case is free on the right and a well-judged run. And good save by the keeper, and Kendall puts it out. Birmingham completely exposed in the left-back position. Case timed his run. Highway put the pass very precisely for him. Case's shot just touched away with a good save by Latchford. Neal. Thompson. Case. Highway. Callaghan to Highway. Callaghan again. Non-stop runner. And Callaghan's cross. Met by Kennedy against the bar. Kennedy again. And Keegan couldn't quite meet it. Very bad luck for Ray Kennedy. Met the centre with a perfect header. And when it came skimming back off Latchford's crossbar, the second header went across goal towards Keegan. Goalkeeper arrived too, and it beat them both. And it's a goal kick. Keegan. Callaghan to Joey Jones. Case, nice flick back header. Kendall, Case, Gary Jones, and it's Gary Jones who wins for Francis, who's looked a bit more lively in this second half, and he's now trying to put Burns through. And Burns is capable of doing it too, but he just caught it on his toe and the ball ran away from him. Disappointment there for Kenny Burns. Ian Callaghan for Liverpool. Toshak ahead of him. Keegan in the middle. Neal up in support. Callaghan. Fullbacks, midfield men, front men all link up so well, support each other so well. And now Keegan chasing this one from Rathbone. Toshak! Well, they don't come much luckier than that. I don't really think that was what Kevin Keegan meant. It was put in well, found him well, but that grin from Kevin Keegan says quite a lot. I think he was going for goal himself, and it ran across to John Toshak, and from there it was easy for the big Welshman to get his 11th goal of the season. Francis. Styles. Callaghan. Case. And then Callaghan for Keegan, who's onside. Highway. Number 4! Beautifully done that time. All starting when Callaghan won a ball well, weighted it beautifully for Case, and from there on it built up through Kevin Keegan to Steve Highway, and Highway's shot was a peach. Goal number 10 for him. 4-1 now the scoreline.
Which is how it finished. Clearly, Liverpool still mean business. Better news today, incidentally, of Birmingham's Trevor Francis, injured in that game and at once pronounced doubtful for England's match against Holland at Wembley on Wednesday. Trevor has told us today that he's got 2 bruised toes on his right foot. He's had them on ice all night. He's been with the club doctor today, but he says he'll be fit if selected. Emlyn Hughes is doubtful still. His Liverpool teammate Phil Thompson is definitely out, and Trevor Cherry of Leeds United is another who is doubtful. That's quite a depressing catalogue. Don't forget, though, the next football on ITV comes up on Wednesday night. It is England's match against Holland at Wembley, and it's exclusive to ITV, 10:30 Wednesday night. Well, in amongst the action today, a couple of really sparkling goals to leave you with. One of them came from John Mitchell for Fulham against Charlton.
Good advantage played by referee Jim Bent there. Mitchell. Oh, goal!
And the other from Steve Highway of Liverpool in the match against Birmingham.
Case. And then Callaghan for Keegan, who is onside. Highway, number 4!